Yes, good morning. Good morning. Savva here from Football Heritage TV. Hope that everybody is well. So much going on in the world of football. You'd think it would be slowing down. It's the 21st of December, which means Christmas Day is just around the corner. For all of those that get really excited by Christmas Day, it is soon here. What have we got going on? You've got Tottenham in talks with Clair Todibo. You've got Jurgen Klopp calling out the Liverpool faithful, wanting more noise, wanting more atmosphere. Do you make him right? What do you reckon? Is that right? Should he be doing that? Is he doing that just because of what Gary Neville said at the weekend about the atmosphere being the worst he's seen it for a Liverpool-Man United game at Anfield? Then the big breaking news today from the world of football is that the European High Court have ruled that FIFA and UEFA acted against the rules, against the sporting laws when putting a kibosh, so to speak, on the Super League. Now, what that means is it's given the green light for the Super League to go ahead without anybody really being able to stop it. What are your thoughts on the Super League? I'm sure there are going to be a lot of mixed emotions. Do you think it's going to happen now? Is that good for Tottenham? Is that good for the big clubs in the UK? Is it better for the clubs in Europe that don't have as much money as the people in the UK? Is it that different? Is it that different from what they're trying to create right now with the Champions League anyway? Because let's be brutally honest, we all talk as football fans, don't we, about, I want to get back in the Champions League. It's the best place to be. And they're messing up with that anyway, aren't they? The new format for next season's Champions League is just an absolute mess that is designed for money. Let's be brutally honest. It's designed to make money. That's all it is. Has the working man's game died? That's what I'm asking you. Has the working man's game died? Football used to be for the every man, the every woman, the every child. Doesn't matter how much money you've got. You go down to the game. You let yourself go for a few hours in the kind of hype and hysteria of watching your football club play. And now it's very much about you can only go if you have got enough money to afford the extortionate tickets. Technology is being implemented left, right, and centre, which most of the time is killing the passion of the game. Finance is killing the passion of the game. As Chris Beresford says here, football is no longer a sport, but a business. Yeah, it's been going that way for a long time, Chris, hasn't it? And I'm going to quote Chris. I've been speaking to Chris this morning. I'm going to quote Chris on this. When you look at what all of the clubs have done over the years, it's literally turned into a money-making juggernaut, hasn't it? Everyone, even when you go back to the days of Blackburn Rovers with Jack Walker, right the way through now to Newcastle United with their Saudi owners. Football has changed. Has it changed for the better? Obviously, there'll be some younger people that only know it that way. There will be some younger fans. I'm not knocking those people. Good luck to you. You're young. You've got many years ahead. But there will be fans that only know it this way with all the money in football, with 60, 70, 80, 100, 150 million pound signings. Football didn't used to be like that. I remember Spurs buying Michael Carrick for £2 million. Who remembers that? Put your hand up in the chat. Who remembers when Spurs bought a world-class player? He wasn't at the time, but went on to be world-class. We bought players like Michael Carrick for £2 million. Paul Gascoigne, I think, signed for Tottenham. I want to say, somebody will tell me if I'm wrong, 1.75 million. Now, anytime a player is announced, people go, like yesterday, the Arsenal fans, Saka's 150 million. 150 million? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Hey, it is what it is. Let's get into these conversations. I think it's important. Yes, I'm a Spurs fan, but hopefully everyone likes the fact that we can talk about all subjects. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read out, I've got Sky Sports News on, and the A22 CEO has said football is free. Clubs are now free from the threat of sanction and free to determine their own futures. For fans, we propose free viewing of all Super League matches for clubs, revenues, and solidarity spending will be guaranteed. And and they've gone on to say the UEFA monopoly is over. Football is free. Now, I don't know. Is that football being free? Is one company taking over UEFA or FIFA? Is that free, or is that just moving? Is that robbing Peter to pay Paul? I'm really not sure. La Liga have said today more than ever, we reiterate that the Super League is a selfish and elitist model. European football has spoken. Listen. So La Liga are coming out against it. It's all happening. This is real time, by the way. This is real time right now. So the actual rule was the European Court of Justice ruled that UEFA and FIFA acted against competition law by blocking the formation of the European Super League in 2021. Court states FIFA and UEFA are abusing their dominant position, but adds Super League may still not be approved. It's a mess. It's a whole mess. It's a whole mess, isn't it? So let me know, where do you sit with this? Where do you sit with all of this? I just don't know. Happy Christmas, football fans. This is what we've got to deal with these days, right? We're going to be debating this massively, by the way, tonight. Spurs Unleashed, 8 p.m. Myself, Perchy, Stell from Tottenham away, Will Stewart from Tottenham away, and also Haas from Southview Coys. We'll be debating this and many other subjects tonight, as we normally do. Other than that, breaking news this morning is that, again, Tottenham Hotspur midfielder Pierre Højbjerg is a target once again for Juventus. They've also been in talks with Calvin Phillips about a loan deal, so Juventus looking to bolster their midfield. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on, isn't there? Let me know your thoughts. If you've got any questions, get your questions in. Put a big Q, then the question. I'll get to them at some point. I'll try and get to as many as possible. If I can't get to them, I do apologize, but I will try and get to as many as possible. Let's see who's in the chat. We'll let some of that fester for a few minutes. Big up Vinny Rowley. Always makes me want a beer when I see your picture. Always makes me want a cheeky pint. Big up to you, my man. I hope you are well. As always, if you haven't subscribed, there is the link. Subscribe. Perchy and I are that close to the 12,000. We're that close. Just that little smidget to 12,000. Big up John Ellis Hall. Good morning to you as well, my friend. I hope you are well. Good morning to Kate Rixham, as always. How are you, Kate? I hope that you are looking forward to the festivities this Christmas. Billy Wilson, Neil, big up Billy, has said, morning, Savva, how are you? I am fine. I am very well this morning. I said, Todibo will be a statement signing. Do you think we will sell Højbjerg to Juve? Listen, I'm going to save this. I'll come back to this in a minute when I've done a few hellos. I'm going to come back to this because obviously we're going to talk to Debo. We're going to talk Højbjerg. A lot to cover this morning. So I will come back to this. I'm starring it. Okay. Paul 71. Morning. Hope you're well. I hope you are well as well. Ulfric is in here. Of course he is, talking about Harry Kane, or she talking about Harry Kane. Harry Kane is the best player of all time. I'm not sure about that. He is a very good player. I'm not sure he's the best player of all time. Big up to 7SC, one of my faves. How you doing, bro? Hope you're well. Good morning, Sav. Listening while cutting up some pipes. I first read that as pies, but pipes makes more sense. So big up to you. Hope you are well. Chris said football is no longer a sport, but a business. And then followed it up with a very sad, worrying, but very factual comment of every decision driven to benefit the balance sheet. Football's gone as a sport. It's not a sport anymore. There's no sporting integrity. Everything is ruined. The rules have killed it. Finance has killed it. Technology's killed it. I just don't know what's going on. Big up to John Raka. Once upon a rhyme. I said, good morning, Savva. Yes, the working man and family game has been long gone. Yeah, it's shocking. It's really, really sad when I'm seeing football fans having to pay up to £100 for a ticket to watch a game of football. I think that's just absolutely extortionate. It's shocking. AJ, I said, good morning, you big, beautiful bastard. Well said, mate. I absolutely agree with you. Yes, good morning to you, AJ. Yeah, it's a sign of the times, isn't it? It really is a sign of the times. But hey, it is what it is. Susie, Let me know if you're in here, Suze. I need a thumbnail to do a video about this. But big up to you. Big up to Suze. Big up to Perchy. I think Perchy's had to go into that place called work today. So big up to him. Big up to Billy, who's come back in and said football is dying. Look at the ticket prices in the Premier League. And for Champions League games, it's ridiculous. Wish football could go back to what it was in 2005. Do you know what? Listen, yeah, I agree. Even before 2005, for me, it just felt more wholesome. It just felt more like a sport, more like a game. Now it just feels like very much like a financially driven business. Spurs for life. Big up to you. I said at Savva, simple question. Why the F are there so many Arsenal fans everywhere? Big up the Arsenal fans. Spurs for life. We need the Arsenal fans. They're our rivals. We need them. We need that banter, but they are everywhere. And imagine how much they're going to multiply like gremlins if they win that league. This is why when people go, oh, Savva supports City. We need City to win the league so that Liverpool, so that Arsenal don't. Come on, get with me on the programme. Big up Rick Keswick. Hope you're well, my brother. I am well. I am well. Thank you. Inflation, yes, but there's a degree, isn't there? There's a degree to inflation and greed. I suppose the two go hand in hand. Video complete. Sofiana said, I like Todibo, but I would prefer Alessandro Bongiorno from Torino. He has the same profile when he doesn't get red carded. I don't know too much. I've heard this name. I don't know too much. I'll go and have a look. I suppose it's all going to be down to what Ange wants. Is going to be the official line. But yeah, look, let me go and have a look. Yeah, Mazda man. Yeah, there you go. 2.2 million. I knew it was something really low. 2.2 million used to buy you a Paul Gascoigne. Now we're talking about people like Saka at 150. It is mental. It is absolutely mental. Tony has said the game is slowly turning to the rich man sport. It's not there to benefit the common person. Absolutely. Gaza. Yeah. Listen, I know who you meant. It's all right. It's all right. All good. But how much is 2.2 million today? I don't know. But surely 2.2 million today isn't 150 million, is my point. Philip Bidwell. Big up, Philip. Sorry, a bit croaky this morning. Said Savva, if Saka is worth 150 million, then Salah is worth 500 million. Well, I think this is what you have to look at. And by the way, when we're talking about being tight, the football clubs are tight. You lot are being tight. There's over 125 of you in here and only 30 likes. Can we get that to 75 as quickly as possible, please? It really does help the algorithm and does help us grow. Doesn't cost you anything. It's just a little button under where you're typing. Please just smash that like button. Yeah, listen, I think the Arsenal fans talk about Saka like he is Mo Salah, and it is quite funny. I think that Daniel Levy will definitely go for this again. I mean, you know that cartoon? I don't know if anyone remembers. Does anyone remember Scrooge McDuck? You remember? And he dived into his money. You know, he went home and dived off his diving board into his pool of money, and he had the pound signs as eyes. It's Daniel Levy, isn't it? It's Daniel Levy all day long. Ashton Mills said, I'm an Arsenal fan, and Saka isn't worth 150, but considering a donkey like Mudryk is worth 95 million in the current market, then surely Saka is around 110. Look, there is that way of looking at it. Yes, for sure, there is that way of looking at it. But I just don't think that, I don't think he was worth 95. I don't think Saka's worth that much money either, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Mr. Post Office has come in and said, UEFA and FIFA are a disgrace. We need to do football without them. However, this Super League is not the way. Well, look, herein lies the problem. Remember when I said earlier, robbing Peter, i.e. UEFA and FIFA, to pay Paul, i.e. the Super League. Isn't it the lesser of two evils? Who is it? Who's the lesser of two evils? It's gone. It's completely gone. Soon, people are going to be having to... people are going to need to be traveling the world every single week to watch their team play. It's just it's a nonsense. It's an absolute nonsense. Jessica, big up to you, said if they're going to do Champions League, just run it as a normal league. Surely 20 teams like normal league. You play Tuesday or Wednesday. Champion is decided league style. Yeah, but have you seen the new rules of what they're trying to do? It is so convoluted and complicated. I just don't see what was wrong with the old process. I really don't see what was wrong with the old process. Group stages, then knockout stages. Well, he didn't make enough money, apparently. Skr said, morning, Sav. Hope you're good, brother. Did you see the other centre-back targets? I'm dreading that Lloyd Kelly link. Listen, there's still that part of me as a Spurs fan. There's still, you're not a Spurs fan if there's not this part of you in your body, right? There's still a part of me that goes, all right, Todibo. We won't get him. It will filter away and it will be Lloyd Kelly. There's that part of me that feels that. And I really hope that isn't the case. Because again, it would be so Spurs-like, wouldn't it? We did it in the summer. It was like tap sober. Then it was like, okay, we're buying an 18-year-old Ashley Phillips. It was like, oh, come on. Saka is 120 million. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know what for. For 120 million, I want a guy that scores 30 goals a season, terrorizes fullbacks. Not for me. Hollywood Phil has said, morning, glad to see you back. Hope you're all good. Good morning to you, Hollywood Phil. Yes, I am good. I'm working on myself, as they say. Working on myself. James Truscott has said, you don't need a cheeky pint. I didn't mean now. I just meant like when I see that picture, it just makes me want a pint of beer. Big up, everyone. Smash the likes. 40 likes, people. Only a third of you have smashed the like button. This is absolutely disgraceful. Daniela Zito has said, good morning. Are you looking forward to the Everton game? Yes. And we're going to be doing a lot more of the Everton game in tomorrow's shows. But yes, looking forward to the Everton game. I think we should have too much for them. So I am hoping for 3 points. And we'll close the gap on one of Liverpool or Arsenal for sure, because they can't both win. So it's a big game. It's an important game. Skr said, for all our fans' health, we need to get him in as soon as possible if we're talking about Todibo, right? Simon, big up to you. I said, morning, Savva. Good to have you back. Who do you think we, Arsenal, are going to sign in January? I don't know. Look, a lot of your fans, Simon, have been talking about Ivan Toney, Zubimendi, Pedro Neto, talking about, who else is the big one that I've seen? Douglas Luiz. I don't know. I mean, are those clubs going to let those caliber of players go in the January market? We'll see. I'll throw it back to you. Who do you think you're going to sign this window? It's a big window for you lot. If you want to win the league, it's a big window. Big up, Dave. Hope you're well. Channel member, of course. Also, John Ellis Hall said football has become American. It's going down that route. It is going down that route, but big up to you, another channel member. Big up to the person that just subscribed. Thank you so much. We always appreciate that on Football Heritage TV. Wrong Skyrim has said, I paid £1,000 for 2 tickets for Liverpool against Newcastle. Why? Why did you pay £1,000? Wow, you've got too much money. And Mr. Post Officer said, why do you think when teams win ugly, that's what champions do, but when Arsenal do it, they aren't clicking? Because Arsenal haven't won the league. I think there's a huge difference. Look, I think as well, this phrase is always misused. Let me know in the chat what you think about this. I always think this is misused. When teams win ugly, it's not that they win ugly every week, right, Mr. Post Office? I'm not saying Arsenal do, but a lot of people think that now. What that phrase was when teams like Man United, who dominated, and Chelsea, they played well most weeks, but it was the games when they didn't play well but still managed to get over the line when people would say, well, they played ugly, but they win the league. There's a difference between that and playing boring, crappy football every week. I'm not saying Arsenal do, but I'm just explaining it. And you've got to win the league for it to be true, right? You can't just say, like, a lot of Arsenal fans keep coming on talking like they're hard done by, but you've not got over the line yet. You haven't got over the line for 20 years. Don't get me wrong. We've not got over the line for many years. But when you win the league, then you can give the middle finger to absolutely everyone, can't you? Until then, I don't think you can. Lynn Simpson, good morning to you. Hope you are well. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Bill said, morning, Savva. I don't know the last game. I sat and watched the whole way through. I've gone off the game completely. And years ago, I'd watch any game. I watch your watch-alongs over Spurs games. Bill, listen, first of all, thank you for that. Absolutely, mate. This is the problem. So many games now, I used to watch intently. And if the missus asked me to do something during the game, I'd go no, I'll do it in a minute. Now I'm like, yeah, all right, I'll do it. Because there's stop and start, all the fake injuries, the technology. It's just all 15 minutes. I watched Villarreal last night, had 15 minutes added time onto the end of their game. You just think, what has happened to football? It's a simple game, Bill, that's been ruined for me, just for me. Video complete. Sofiana said Buongiorno was a beast against Ukraine, Savva. Yeah, I don't know a lot about him. I'll have to go and have a look. I don't know a lot about this guy, but I'm always like anyone should be. I'm always willing to learn. I'm always willing to have a look and see who these players are. You lot should be willing to smash that like button. 51 likes and 138 of you in here. Come on. Lynn Simpson said, having these Saudi owners coming to the Premier League has caused the turn in our Premier League. Lynn, I'm going to disagree. I think this was happening way before the Saudi owners. Listen, it doesn't matter where these people come from. This has been happening since Roman Abramovich days, Jack Walker days, since all the rule changes. I just think it's all of them. I don't think it matters where they come from. Yes, DuckTales, and yes, that's Levy. Absolutely. Tony Domovsky said the Abramovich era began the inflated transfer fees, and it's elevated from there. Video complete Sofiana said Saka is not world class. Mbappe, Vinicius Junior, Rodrigo, Salah, and Chiesa are all better. Absolutely, all better than him. But he's the darling of English football, and everyone loves him. Rinketic said we can already say the German teams won't go for it because of the 51% rule thing. It's going to be interesting, isn't it, to see who does go for it and who doesn't go for it. But now we're just going to have months and months and months of this talk and fans protesting. It's just all it's meant to be a game. It's meant to be a game of football. Right, 2.2 million is about 10 million today. I mean, you're not picking up a Gascoigne for 10 million, are you? Let's be brutally honest. I can't explain as well to the younger generation just how good players like Paul Gascoigne were. Players like Chris Waddle, Paul Gascoigne, compared to some of the players that get called world-class now. Lynn, they said Rice wasn't worth 105 million. I'm sure most teams would like him. Listen, I think Rice is a top player. Rice is a top player, right? And I think that was about the maximum you would want to pay, 105. When we start talking about 120, 130, 140, 150. For that, I want Mbappe. If I'm paying 150 million pounds, I want Erling Haaland. I want Mbappe. I want the best players, not Saka. Do you know what I mean? Big up to Mark Smith, who just said Manu FC. Okay. Big up to you. Bill has said, imagine us in an actual Super League. I hope it does happen. Some of our fans might wake up. Oh, what will happen is people will go, but with the Super League money, Daniel Levy might start spending bigger. We'll see. If I don't get to all the comments, I do apologise. Donna Cullen is here, of course. Mr. Savva, I'm loving you more and more with time. I'm worried more and more with time, Donna. I am, but thank you for the super chat. And you've come back in and said, Mr. Savva, how can I win a shirt worn by you? I mean, it's just so weird. It's so weird now. Thank you for the super chat, but what do you mean? No, I'm not giving away clothes that I've worn. What are you talking about? Absolutely crazy stuff. Where were we? Yes, for me, all day long, he's better than Saka. All day long. I'd love to see Kvaratskhelia come to this league. I really, really would. Jessica has said, heard Jota available on loan with 20 million buy clause in the summer. Surely we should be in on that. I think we will be. Let's see. It just makes sense, doesn't it? We need another wide left player. I think we're short there. He's on loan. He's played for Postecoglou before. If we had the dots, they all kind of connect. Let's see. what happens. Legacy, big up to you. So good to see you back. Hope you had a good break. Yeah, had a 2-week break plus the holiday. So I had about a 3.5-week break. It was very, very nice. Thank you very much. I like Bakayoko from PSV. Listen, Saka's a very good player. Don't get me wrong. Saka's a very good player. But it is just Arsenal fans are going on like they never saw players like Perez play and Overmars, proper players. Big up, Kate. I said, I do the like when I come in. Please do the likes for Savva, please. Thank you very much, Kate. Thank you. I really do appreciate that because we haven't even got 50% of the people in here smashing the like button. Let's have a like party, as Richard Pugh would say. I watched Inter Milan versus Bologna yesterday. Yes, I have. And I've got to say, I was thoroughly disappointed with Inter Milan. Their attacking was just shocking. But, it is what it is. I'm a bit annoyed as well because they ruined my Aka. Adore Satita said, becoming a non-contact American franchise. Yeah, it is all changing, isn't it? It's all changing. Lynn has said, look at Caicedo, 110 million, one good season, but the money that clubs are prepared to buy for is putting the price in. Yeah, absolutely. I get it. Absolutely. I obviously understand as well that it's what a club can get for a player rather than what they're probably worth, if that makes sense. It's more how much is the other club desperate for that player. Big up to Foggy Foam. So big up Savva in the chat. Ange came out numerous times and said he needs players in early. Really pleased to hear that. Really pleased to hear they've already started work. I won't mind Todibo or Radu Dragusin. Both are good. Yeah, I think that's the important part, is the first part of your sentence there, isn't it? That he has acknowledged that we need players in early. It's so frustrating because in January windows, we keep getting someone on the last day of the window. And you think you've had a whole month wasted for, I don't know how many games, but each year, whatever games are in January are wasted. FA Cup games, league games. Yes, Andrew, the Super League is back. It is. We're discussing it on and off this morning. Good morning to Amir. Good morning to you. Hope you're well. Kieran has said Arsenal were winning ugly for most of their games, but the game versus Brighton, they were good. I agree. I do agree. I thought Arsenal were very good against Brighton. They completely dominated. I think what it is with Arsenal is because they're not playing the same free-flowing football they played last year. I think that's what people are looking at. Skirt said, Savva, just wondering how you reckon Gallagher would fit into the squad, 6 or an 8. I think a player like Gallagher just fits in. I think we worry too much, if I'm honest, Skirt, about 6s and about 8s and 10s and deep lying and this and breaking. Listen, just good footballers can play anywhere. I think what you get with Conor Gallagher is you get that passion. But what you do get is a lot of yellow cards, and we've got a lot of them already. Football was ruined in 1992, says Andrew. It's definitely been going downhill since those years. Philly, big up, my man. I said I want Arsenal fans to open their mouths because when they fail to win the league, there will be nowhere to hide. Yeah, but they'll just find another excuse like they did last season. It's why, Philly, it's why when all the Spurs fans were going mad about we're winning a league, I was like, oh, no, stop, because we look silly. But it is what it is. Each to their own. Foggy Foam says, Skip, Højbjerg, Davis. I don't see them here next season. Ange doesn't seem to rate them when he says rebuild. It's shifting these guys and getting better. Absolutely. We've needed a lot of these to go for a long time. I think that Skip and Højbjerg, for me, can go immediately. I think Davis will be kept till the end of the season because he can cover left back and centre half. But yeah, I completely agree with you. Rick James, big up Rick James, who said Todibo is a player, will displace Romero in the starting 11 by the end of the season. Listen, I just think it's important to have competition for places. I don't think you can go into a season with just 2 first-team centre-backs. You just can't do it. And then when you look further forward, Rick, to next year, hopefully, touch wood, right? When we're in Europe next year, touch wood, right? You need more centre-backs, you need more midfielders, you need more strikers. So it's about building as well. And talking about building, thank you so much to the person who just subscribed. We're now only 25 subscribers away from the magical 12K. So thank you very much. The link is in the chat if anyone did want to subscribe, but we do appreciate you all. Thank you very much. We want to make it as interactive as possible on our show. Hopefully everyone appreciates that. I never want to be one of those channels that doesn't interact. Just got to be careful how I do it. Simon said, Tony, seems possible if it's a loan, but I don't know why Brentford would do that. Yeah, I can't see them doing that in any way, shape or form. Luis is impossible for me because Villa wants to win. Onana maybe because Everton is safe from relegation. I tell you what, Onana would be a good signing. He's a good player, Onana. He's a very good footballer, Onana. I think, yeah, Douglas Luiz, we were having this conversation yesterday, Simon, about where Villa are sitting. I mean, Villa could be top going into the January transfer window. Right? If they are, do we really think they're going to go, yeah, go on, Douglas Luiz? But equally, what if the player really wants to leave? So it's a kind of double-edged sword. But yeah, listen, I agree with what you said there. Yeah, modern Sky Sports kill football. Yeah, Kieran, Sky Sports kill football. They just plug it so much. Best league in the world. This is the best league in the world. Money, money, money. Marketing. It's just too much. Paulinho at Fulham. Yeah, I wonder if Bayern Munich will come back in for him after what happened on the last day of the transfer window. Dor has said, imagine Maradona in today's game, perfect pitches and no one allowed to tackle him. Yeah, look, there's still tackles. There's still tackles. I hear when people say about Messi and Maradona, and the difference is one was tackled, the other one wasn't. I've watched Messi play for 20 years now, and that bloke gets hacked down every game. But I hear what you're saying. Just imagine Maradona in today's game. Yeah. Imagine these players. That's what I mean. When you've got people overhyping these footballers now, and you think about the greats that have been. Bill has said at least the news will piss off Mr. Morality, Gary Neville. Mr. Morality sounds like a really shit teacher, doesn't it? Mr. Morality's coming. Brilliant. I love you, Bill, so much. Amir has said, Savva, what do you think about the new Champions League system? I think it sounds terrible. Amir, it sounds awful. It is so. Do you know what? We brought up a few weeks back, maybe a month back, we brought up the actual layout of what the Champions League format is next year. And it almost makes me not want Spurs to even get in it. It just looks so convoluted. I believe someone in the chat will tell me if I'm wrong, but if I remember rightly, it was that there's a league and you play some of the teams in the league. Is that right? Everyone plays 8. I don't know. Everyone plays 8 games, and then whoever's top of the league, then you start playing each other. And it was just, when you look at it and go, why? Why have we changed this? What was wrong with it? Yes, from Donna, are you saying? Well, there she is. She's back saying, Mr. Savva, I just want to feel you with that shirt. Donna, it's so weird. Yeah. So weird. So weird. Big up to Philly 2109. Philly, why is it Philly 2109? What is 2109 got to do with anything? Even with my Spurs hat on, Son is nowhere near as good as right. Oh, right, hang on. We're talking about players like Ryan Giggs, right? Are this up here? Forget personal life. Ryan Giggs up there. Son's a good player, but Ryan Giggs, different gravy. Absolute different gravy. It's like when I get the Spurs fans saying to me that Son's better than Ginola. It just makes me giggle inside. Like, clearly those people haven't watched football for very long. Killian, leave you out. It's nice and simple. AJ has said, if the Super League does get formed, I'd prefer Tottenham to remain in the Premier League. Well, this is what we're going to get, won't we, AJ? Lots and lots of debates about, do you want to be in it? Do you not want to be in it? What's good for Spurs? What's bad? What does Daniel Levy want? How much does it cost us? How do fans get tickets? It's going to be a nightmare, AJ. It's going to be a nightmare. John has said, we could sign Yotta and sing, what a lot of Jonna we got her. Yeah, we could. Why not? Let's do that. Bill has said, do we want players from Saudi? We criticise players for going there in the first place. I suppose that it's a double-edged sword again. Just because they've gone there, does it mean they've lost their passion for football? Are they greedy? Was it too good an opportunity to turn down? Bill, would you and I turn down an opportunity to make that vast amount of money like that? I don't know. It's another good debate that can be had. I tell you what, we'll use that tonight. I'll tell you what I'm going to do right now. Hang on. I'm gonna take a photo of this right now and ask the lads that we'll debate this tonight. Another debate for tonight. There you go. So we always talk about before the show what debates are we going to put on, what will people want to hear. There you go. There's a debate for tonight. Do we want players that have gone to Saudi? What's their temperament like? What's their character like? Okay. JC, big up my man. That says, Savva, how are you? I am well. Thank you very much. Said, I just want to say thank you so much for the Tottenham shirt I won on your giveaway. It arrived yesterday. I will model it for you today and get a picture sent to you. Thank you again, Savva. Thank you very much. Listen, Perchy sorted all that out, to be honest, while I was away. So big up to Perchy for that. You're more than welcome. Sorry it took a while. It was struggling to find some shirts, actually. It was crazy. But I'm glad you got it now. And you don't have Insta. That's so weird. I'm only joking. Big up to you, man. I hope you're well. Killian has said, come on, you Spurs. By the way, this does show that if we do a shirt giveaway, it's real. People do get the shirt. Philly has said, Arsenal fans need to see Overmars and then tell me about Saka. Absolutely. There's one's here, one's there, right? Like Overmars. I know we're Spurs fans, but how good was Mark Overmars? Jesus, he scared the bejesus out of me every time he got the ball. Saka, not as much. Not really. Lynn, so I'm trying to get to as many chats as possible, but I will do that. I will get to as many chats as possible. If you guys smash the like button, there's 160 of you in here. There's 64 likes. Just under 100 of you haven't smashed the like button. Please do. It really, really does help. Please, please, please. It really does help. By the way, on the morning poll, we did so far 84 people have voted, and the question was, will Spurs, not would you, will Spurs sign Clair Todibo? Yes, 58%, and no, 42%. So 42% still understanding that Daniel Levy is here, and we're not sure if it happens, but I suppose it all depends it all depends on the cost. But big up, if anyone would be so kind, smash the like button. Please subscribe as well. The link is in the chat. Come on, people, we're having some good conversations the last few days, and we're back with more energy than before. Savva, question for you. If you could get Saka and Levy was prepared to pay the 50 to me, would you take him? No. For 150 million, I think you can get 3 really good players. Like, if I'm buying Saka, right, for 150 million, look at Mohamed Kudus at 45 million. It's a no-brainer. Why would I want that for 150 million when he's 45 million? No, I think with good scouting, you can get much better than Bukayo Saka. No. Yeah, I've seen that comparison. I mean, yeah, people talking about Odegaard's like Bergkamp. Bergkamp was a one-off. Unfortunately, Arsenal had some top footballers in their ranks, didn't they? They really, really, really did. Where are we? Daniel Levy's dream is probably the Super League. Yeah, absolutely. Can't deny that one. Evan Ferguson, 50 million. Yeah, again, Evan Ferguson's another one where he looks a very good young player. But again, people are already saying he's going to be like Harry Kane. He's this good. He's that. He's okay. He's good. Let's let him grow. Let's let him reach a level before we start talking about massive money. But yeah, I don't even know what players are worth these days, Kylian, if I'm brutally honest. Inter Milan need Lukaku back. Yeah, I don't think Jose Mourinho is going to let that happen. Daniel Levy can spin many lies. Do fans remember when the stadium was going to be a game changer? Whatever happened? Yes, the stadium was going to allow us to buy better players and pay more money for players. Yes, I remember these times. I do. Skur has said, yeah, I get he's a great player. He's got a crazy engine, and we will be getting so many turnovers in their box. I'm just interested to see if he could play DM. Oh, who are we talking about? Sorry. I can't remember. I don't know who that was talking about. Apologies. Who are we talking about? Conor Gallagher. Conor Gallagher you were talking about. Yes, sorry. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I don't think we'll buy him, but I do think at some point he will leave Chelsea. Lynn has said the problem is Ange can ask for early transfers, but if Levy won't pay, and we know he wants elite players for peanuts, you won't get them. Age-old conundrum. Manager wants something, does owner give it to him? By the way, it can't just be one player. It can't just be, oh my God, we've signed Todibo early. Everything's changed. It needs to be every window continuously. So look, we'll keep an eye on that. There is the link, everybody. Thank you very much. There is the link. Thank you to the person that did just subscribe. 24 subscribers away. 24. But we are 28 likes away from 100. Smash the like button, people. Come on. Mr. Savva, your skin is really glowing this morning. I'm so worried. And that you followed that up with, what skin products do you use, Mr. Savva? I'm so worried by you at this stage, if I'm going to be brutally honest with you. But big up to you, Donna. Where are we? Skur has said, I also saw Man U want Kubo. Not going to lie, we could do with him. Now, Kubo, very good footballer. I'd love Kubo in our attack. I really, really would. I think he's a very good player. Mr. Post Office has said, why is there nowhere to hide for Arsenal fans if we don't win the league? We can beat him v Pep. Beating him to the title would be an achievement. I think it's just, Mr. Post Office, I think the problem you've got is, it's like any fan base. You've got some of those really noisy fans in your fan base that are so adamant you're going to win the league that you are the best, that if you don't, it's football rivalry, isn't it? It's football rivalry. It's what happens. AJ has said, Foggy Foam, I don't think Davis is in that category. Ange seems to like him and think highly of him. If he continues performing as well as he is, I can see him being kept as a backup defender. Interesting. I feel that way as well. I'm not saying I would keep him, but I do see what you're saying. I really, really do. Philly has said, does Ange like Davis, or is because Davis is the best of a bad bunch? Good point. Love it. Like we're in court. A bit of a counter argument there. Kate said, Liverpool have been inquiring about Paulinho from Fulham. Yeah, I think a lot of clubs will. A lot of clubs will. Vinny has said, football is just not football anymore. I'd rather watch my local team play because at least I would enjoy it. At least when I watch my local team play, there's no VAR to ruin the game. I agree. I just, Ginola wasn't very consistent. Oh, Terence, the worst comment of the day. The man won double player of the year playing for Tottenham Hotspur. Double player of the year playing for Tottenham Hotspur. Do I miss Harry Kane? I miss Harry Kane's goals. I'm not someone who gets overly attached to players. I don't miss Harry Kane. I miss Harry Kane's goals. But that was down to the club to replace it. We didn't. We still need to. Hey, it is what it is. Legacy has said, Ozzy Ardili's interview was awesome. Yeah, it was a good watch, that. I think a lot of media hype in that. But yes, it was a good watch. Vinny Roldy said a lot of people hype up players saying they're world class. I mean, what is the definition of world class? Absolutely. You always hear me talking about it on this channel. So many people use the words world class and elite for people that haven't really done anything in football yet. It's frustrating, but hey, it is what it is. Philip said the only way I'd change the Champions League is that the league champions of the different European leagues and the champions of the Europa League and Champions League qualify to be in it. Look, it's come so far away from being a Champions League, isn't it? Like sometimes there are 5 clubs from a country going in. That's not champions, is it? That's not champions in any way, shape, or form. Just some news that has come through to me, according to @Sport, is that Real Madrid and Barcelona will receive a loyalty bonus for remaining in the Super League project. According to some, this could reach 1 billion euros. This amount will help Barca end the club's debt. Let's keep an eye on that one. It's all gonna. Oh, it's gonna rumble on, isn't it? It's gonna rumble on like the old Rumbelows Cup. It's great that your Messiah is on your lips, Sav. I don't know what you mean. What do you mean? Let me know what you mean. I don't understand. Maybe I'm being silly. The Champions League should be for champions only. I agree. Let's make it at least the top 2, right? Top 2, top 1 can't be top 4. I mean, the top 4 is just mad. It's all money, isn't it? Mr. Pofus said Overmars was deadly in front of goal and fast as lightning, but let's not let the nostalgia take away how good Saka is. Look, again, Mr. Post Office, right now you're doing exactly what I said. Saka is nowhere near Mark Overmars as a footballer. Nowhere near. Yes, he's 21. So let him get to his best before people like you put him on this pedestal. It's not... Mr. Posters, I don't know how old you are, but just because people remember top players doesn't mean it's nostalgic. Me remembering how good Ginola was, Gaza was, Hoddle was, isn't not Sheringham there. It's not nostalgia. They were top footballers. I hate this. The younger generation always go, oh, it's nostalgic. No, it's not. We just remember the footballers. John Ellis Hall said we will get Anthony Gardner back. Anthony Gardner. Oh, wow. Who remembers the days when he was playing centre-half for Tottenham Hotspur? I'm trying to get to every comment as much as possible. Hopefully, let me know in the chat. But 79 likes. Get to 100 now. Come on. Right now, a like party. We should be on 125, let alone 100. Come on. Like. Come on, people. Let's be nice. Hopefully, you're enjoying the morning shows coming back. I'll continue to do them. Obviously, I won't be doing one on Christmas Day, but I do have a 10 in 10, my 10 in 10 on Christmas Day and Perchie's 10 in 10 on Boxing Day. Savva, when you got time, can we compare La Liga and Premier League comparison to see chat opinions on who would win more games? I mean, Mark, we can, but it's never definitive, is it? It's how do you do that? I don't know how we would do it, but we can give it a go at some point. John Kramer fan has said the constant tinkering with football is annoying due to moaning managers. I miss the days with FA Cup replays and no VAR. Mate, I completely hear you. They tinker with the rules, with the technology, with the formats every single year. Just leave it. Get it to a place, keep it there, and just leave it. Video complete Sofian. So for 150 million, I'll spend 60 million on Chiesa, 35 on Bongiorno, and 55 million on Zubimendi. Yeah, listen, with 150 million, you can do a lot rather than buying Bukayo Saka. Yes, you can. Yeah, I like him, but I do feel the hype. It's what people do. They see, like when he scored a hat-trick early in the season, people go, oh my God, this guy's the next best thing. We do that with every young player, right? We do that with every young player. I'm a firm believer in let these players get to that level first. There are exceptions. People like Musiala, Bellingham, they're just different. But someone like Evan Ferguson, let's let him get there, right? I agree. AJ said, as a Spurs fan, I have to say Bergkamp was a joy to watch. Yeah, unfortunately, he was absolutely superb. Played the game so effortlessly, but always performed. Odegaard has had 2 good performances this season, not even close. I refuse to even put the 2 in the same sentence. It's embarrassing. Chiesa is way better than Saka and he's cheaper. I'll let you guys debate that. John Kramer fan has said, Ange's talent idea is good enough that Levy doesn't need to spend 100 million on a player. Todibo signing would show that we are not the same old Tottenham. I disagree that it would show we're not the same old Tottenham. I don't think he's going to cost a lot. I think it's perfect for Levy. I think that, I'll tell you what, let me ask you, John. Tell me why. I think the timing of it, if we did it early in the window, I think it shows that we're slowly changing. But other than that, I mean, why would it show we're different? I'm just asking. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just asking you. Why would it show that we're not the same old? I'm interested to know. Amira said Kane already has 21 goals in the Bundesliga. I think he will break Lewandowski's record this season. Yeah, I think he will. Look, Harry Kane's an elite goal scorer. He's an elite goal scorer. Simon Davis said, do we need to be careful with how many players we sign in January? With players coming back from injury and the abundance of deadwood we still have at the club, the books are already pretty full. Simon, look, this is why these people are paid to run a football club. Let's be brutally honest, right? That's why these people are paid to run a football club. What they've got to do is, okay, Ndombele's coming back, right? There's one. He hasn't even got a squad place. So you need to say, okay, is Dyer going to go? That frees one up for a Todibo, right? Perisic, who's registered at the moment, I think will be deregistered. If that's unregistered, deregistered. Anyone with good grammar, unregistered or deregistered? Now, that my brain will think about that now. Unregistered or deregistered. But yeah, listen, you're right. What they've got to be careful of as well is, if you know, for example, if you bring in a midfielder and then all of a sudden Sarr and Basuma come back and Benson calls fit and Maddison and Lo Celso, and you've got all these midfielders and trying to keep them all happy with one game a week. But hey, listen, that's their job. That's what they're paid to do. Donna has come back in and said, Mr. Savva, don't worry, I won't turn up to your house. That's good to know that you won't turn up to my house. Thank you, Donna. That's good to know that you're not going to turn up to my house. She's gone on to say, he, Mr. Savva, just enjoy. Don't worry, I'm harmless to you. It's all good. I do worry, though. I do worry when people want my clothes. Bit worrying. But big up to you. Tigaro is in the house and said, good luck to see you back. Good to see you back. There. Good to see you back, mate. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you as well, Tigaro. Long time no see. I hope you are well, my friend. I hope you're enjoying Spurs this season. And hopefully you're enjoying the content today. So big up to you. Thank you for being a loyal channel member. Much love to you. Thank you very much. And another very loyal channel member. Thank you so much, 7SC. Has said, I had Ginola's autograph. Lost it over the years. Dead to me. How can you lose it? How can you lose it? I met David Ginola. And I mean, I've met lots of people, famous people, and not been starstruck. With Ginola, I was just a bit like, oh my God, it's David. But big up to you. Thank you so much for the super chat. We really do appreciate that as well. Where were we? Todibo, Gallagher, O'Reilly, and Jota would be a 10 out of 10 window. John, I really, really like O'Reilly. I'm a big fan of Matt O'Reilly. Whenever I've watched him play, there's just something about him. He seems like he's got a lot of different facets to his game. And I can't imagine that he would cost the earth. So, yeah, Todibo, Gallagher, I think, would be a good squad player. Would I have Gallagher over Skip and Højbjerg in the squad? Absolutely, I would. I'd have him over Lo Celso as well in the squad, if I'm honest. Always fit, always available, works hard, good engine, gets about the pitch. I'm not saying he's one of my like dreams, but I wouldn't be against that signing. Amir has said, by the way, I am trying to get to as many comments as possible. I apologize if I can't get to every single one. I really, really do. I am trying, I promise. Where are we? Sorry, where are we? Unfortunately, every club has those deluded social media fans. Arsenal, Man U have easily the worst ones. For sure. Absolutely. If I said, cool. Who can tell what program that's from? Just chucking that in. Completely nothing to do with football. I would like to see Todibo at Spurs, yes, but I will believe nothing until a player holds up a shirt. Absolutely. John Ellis Hall. Ginola was class. Yes, Ginola was class. Yes. Imagine how much he would be worth in this market. Imagine how many defenses he would. Imagine all these fullbacks now that are good going forward but can't defend. Imagine Ginola running at Trent Alexander-Arnold. Just imagine it. He would embarrass him every time he got the ball. Absolutely crazy. Imagine Ginola running at Pedro Porro. You know what I mean? So forth. Cillian misses Harry Kane and the goals. Fair enough. John Kramer said, hot take, Rasmus Højlund would score 20 goals in this Tottenham team. Man United are ruining him. Look, Man United are just in a bad spell, right? Listen, I think Rasmus Højlund is young. I think there's time there. I don't think we need to worry about him being ruined. He's only a 20-year-old, right? Or something like that. So, look, a new manager, new formation could work wonders for him. So we will see. Unpopular opinion. I would have sold Kane years ago at maximum profit and used the finances to build a squad. Lots of people have said that. Look, we got nearly 100 million for him with 1 year left. What would we have got with 2 or 3 years? But ifs, buts, and monkey nuts, as they say. Celia said, I don't agree about Todibo. Okay. Arsenal for Life said, what do you think of Havertz's recent form? Can he go on to prove people wrong? I suppose it depends what you want. I'm one that said I never thought Havertz was as bad as everyone made out or as good as everyone made out. I just didn't think he was terrible. I think Kai Havertz, the problem with Kai Havertz is the price tag that when he was bought over from when he was young, everyone holds that against him. Kai Havertz will score you goals. He will get you some goals. Prove people wrong will be down to what people didn't like about him. If it's proving people wrong and he does get 10 to 15 goals in the season, then yes. If it's his all-round play, then that's down to the individual eye, isn't it? So I don't know is the honest answer to that. I don't know. Bill said, who's your most underrated Spurs player who you almost forgot played for the club? Mine is Stefan Dalmat. Stefan Dalmat was a class act. Off the top of my head, I tell you what. I tell you a few little underrated players. I thought Øyvind Leonardson always put in a good shift. I thought Steve Malbronk always put in a good shift. You knew what you were going to get. Simon Davis as well. Remember Simon Davis? Nicky Barmby. Who else should I put in there? Nicky Barmby. Do you know what? I actually think Chris Perry put in a good shift. Wasn't the greatest defender in the world, but you knew what you were getting from him. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure if I sat down and thought about it, there could be loads of them. Loads and loads and loads of them. I'm not sure. Kate Rixham says, Savva, glad you are back. I've missed you. Oh, thank you very much. I don't want your dirty clothes, though. I don't know why anyone would want my dirty clothes. By the way, I'm not sure how dirty people think my clothes are. By the way, let me ask nicely. There's just under 200 of you in here. We are on 103 likes, so thank you so much for that. Can we get 3 kind people to subscribe and get us to 11,980? That will put us 20 away from 12K. We want to get there before Christmas Day. If we could get 3 very kind people to do that, I really, really would appreciate that. The link is in the chat, and I've just pinned it as well. So please do. It does mean a lot to us. Unfortunately, I did have some people that after what happened We want to talk about that. After what happened a couple of weeks ago, did unsubscribe. So it would be great to win a few of those subscribers back, or new subscribers. And thank you to all those that didn't unsubscribe and remained with us. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Vinny has said, I remember watching Eden Hazard from the eye test. The Premier League don't have many wingers like that anymore. You know what? Yeah, Vinny, when talking about Eden Hazard, I don't need anyone to tell me how many assists he got, how many goals he got, how many times he dribbled or ran or sprinted. He was just a class act, right? That's what I think is killing football. It's too many people that need stats to form an opinion. How many Italian players do well in the Premiership bar Zola? Well, here we go. People in the chat. Italian players that have done well in the Premier League. Italian players that have done well in the Premier League. Wow. Roberto Di Matteo would be one I would go with. Obviously, you said Zola, Gianluca Vialli, Pierluigi Casaraghi. There must be loads. My mind's gone blank. Let me know, people. Daniel, you are so adamant, aren't you, that Villa are winning the league? I love it. I love it. I love it. You are funny. Big up to you. Mr. Bova said, I watched Mark Overmars kick out, title push into gear in 98 and Wembley. I can also appreciate how good watching Saka is. He's just nowhere, mate. He's just nowhere near him. We can have this chat all day long. He's nowhere near a Mark Overmars. He's nowhere near that. We've seen a few. You know what it's like. You get people with these outrageous... You get people nowadays on YouTube and Instagram and Twitter that make these outrageous comments because it makes them, elevates them. Rory Jennings is the biggest example of that in the world, isn't it? His awful take on Erling Haaland, and people still want him on their show to give awful takes. It's madness. I think some of his recruitment has been good. This is the thing. I think we go all the way. I think it's in the middle for me. I think he's signed some good players, and I think he's signed some terrible players as well. So let's not just pretend that every one of them has been good. Well, I wouldn't call it that, but please do smash the like button. And thank you to the one person that did subscribe. Thank you. A few more would be absolutely lovely. John has said, we usually divot in the transfer market and get little done, constantly letting managers down, and just being clear what he wants. If we do business early, like Ange did at Celtic, it shows intent. I agree with that. I agree. Let's see. You know, what I would love to see, John, would be week one, you know, the transfer window opens, medical happening in the next 2-3 days for Clair Todibo, and we can all get on with it. That would be great. I'd really, really like that. UEFA have come out and said the ruling does not signify an endorsement or validation of the so-called Super League. UEFA remains resolute in its commitment to uphold the European football pyramid, ensuring that it continues to serve, I'm reading off a bar which is going slowly, ensuring that it continues to serve the broader interests of society. Just saying. Just thought I'd bring that to you as I saw breaking news at the corner of my eye on Sky Sports News. Stuart said you bring in players in January and then properly balance the books in the summer. That way you don't leave yourself short at the end of the season. Absolutely. Becky, big up to you, Becky. Has said Tottenham Hotspurs. Do you know what I like? Becky, I give you 10 out of 10 for creativity. But I just want to let you know, and every other football fan who doesn't support Spurs, it's not Spurs. It's not Hotspurs. It's Hotspur. Tottenham Hotspur. There's no S. Otherwise, good attempt. We liked it. Daniel said Ginola won nothing. Oh, clearly somebody who doesn't know his football history. Well, Ginola won something with Spurs. So there's a start. You want to know what David Ginola won in his... I mean, I don't understand. Daniel, you know when you come on and you say things like Villa are going to win the league and you want everyone to believe you, and then you come out with stuff like this saying David Ginola didn't win anything. I mean, David Ginola won league titles in France, cups in England. He won the Intertoto Cup, the League Cup, the Coupe de Ligue. He won, Player of the Year, double Player of the Year in France, double Player of the Year in England. He got in the Premier League Team of the Year 2 years in a row, the Tottenham Hotspur Player of the Year. So can we not have this? If you don't know your football history, don't type it. Just saying. Just saying. Mark said deregister is to remove from registration. Unregistered is never be registered. So okay, deregister, right? Big up Becky. There we are. Big up Becky. Tottenham Hotspur. I bet Ginola didn't dip his chips. I mean, Ginola's such a fine specimen of a man. I don't reckon he had chips and milkshakes. Video complete. Sofiana said Todibo, Zubimendi, and Vlahovic would be it. Now, if Tottenham could pull off a window like that, which we won't, wow. Now you've got a spine. You've just added down the spine. I would then have Vlahovic up top, Sonny to the left, whoever on the right, Zubimendi in midfield with Bentancur and Maddison, and then Todibo at the back with Van de Ven, Porro, and Udogie. Oof, that's an 11, isn't it? That's an 11. The way 3 players could transform you is amazing. Absolutely. Brooklyn 99. I love Brooklyn 99. I watch it over and over again. It's just so silly, but very funny. Dean has said we need to move early this transfer market. Yes, we do. Yes, we do need to move early this transfer market. The same way we need to move early on the likes and the subscribe button. Yes, I would. I would take Cambiasso at Tottenham. Yes, I would. Who remembers the original Cambiasso? Tigaro has said, I think we should go hard for Tar. Yes, 29, accomplished and possibly more receptive to being a number 3 centre-back than someone building their career like Todibo. Tigaro, I agree with the first half. I don't think we're going to go for 29-year-olds, if I'm brutally honest, but I would like Tar. I think, though, that you're falling into the trap here that a lot of Spurs fans are about Todibo being a number 3 centre-back. I think the point is that you've got 3 that can all equally play and that you can rotate. That, you know, we've seen in the last 17 games, how many games would a Todibo have had with Romero suspended, Van de Ven injured? How many games will we have next year in Europe? I think we look at it the wrong way. I think if we want to be a big club, we need to stop worrying about a third choice. We need to look at Man City, Nathan Ake, Akanji, Diaz, Vardiel, Stones. I don't see any of them talking about third choice, second choice. They just all play loads of games. That's where I think we need to get to. And I think Todibo could walk into this 11 quite easily, if I'm brutally honest. I really, really do. Oaks Marley said, I don't know what you're all complaining about. As an Australian that jumped on the bandwagon because of Ange, we only play good football. I don't know who was complaining about anything, Oaks. What people in the chat? Who was complaining about what? I don't know what we're talking about here. Angus is in the chat. Said Havertz could have a similar situation to Granit Xhaka. Quite possibly. He was vilified by fans for a very long time, and then in the end, they were gutted to see him go. Moussa Dembele. I think the difference with Moussa Dembele is he wasn't underrated. I think everyone realised how good Moussa Dembele was. A top footballer, Moussa Dembele. Jermaine Jenas, underrated. Interesting one. Let me know in the chat what was everyone think of Jermaine Jenas. Mr. Post Office said Kai's all-round play was always very good for us. People just wanted to see the goals. It's almost as if he wasn't leading a new position in a new position in a new system. Maybe Arteta knows more than the fans. Listen, absolutely. I think that, look, we're football fans. We're always going to chat, right? And the managers you would like to think know better, but it is what it is, right? Yes, Steed. I liked Steed. Who remembers Steve Malbronk? I really liked Steve Malbronk. Yeah, Dempsey as well. Yeah, that's a good one. Again, the origin of the question, the players you forgot played for you. Yeah, Clint Dempsey did a job. Big up to you, Ben Salih Youssef. Just landed from Canada to Tunisia. Hopefully you had a nice, safe flight. Hope you enjoyed it. Vicario. Yes, sorry. Okay, so now we're Italians. Yes, Vicario, Viali, Tonali, Ravanelli. Yeah, absolutely. Ravanelli as well. Nicola Berti, Jorginho. Yeah, Carbone. Oh, God. Carboni. Benito Carboni was a quality little player. Di Canio. Di Canio was superb. Di Canio, Di Matteo, Balotelli, Viali, Borini, Pistoni. Yeah, there's been a few. And isn't it funny over time how many names the brain forgets? Balotelli again, Di Canio, Lombardi, Zola, Pele. Is that the one who played for Is that the one who plays at Southampton? Wasn't he the tall striker? Bill has come in and said, so the Super League is all about ending Barcelona's debt problems. Apparently so. Apparently so, Bill. Maybe the Super League could give everyone, the normal football fans, some money to end all their debt problems. Hennessy said, I mean, Arsenal were on top for 243 days and still lost the league. They were on top for 93% of the season and still didn't win it. Yeah, very, very true. Savva, do you think Højlund is terrible? Because I don't. Man United players are not providing him. I don't think he's terrible at all. Look, Man United seem like a bit of a mess. Their football has got awful. Their football reminds me of Conte, if I'm brutally honest. And Højlund's a young man. I think people need to remember this. Højlund's a young man coming to a new country that should be being protected, should be being supported. And I don't think he is. Daniel Senior said, agreed, but for his ability, he should have won the Premier and the Champions League. Yeah, but Daniel, surely that depends on who you play for, right? If we're talking about Ginola, I don't know if you remember this, that, Ginola was at Newcastle and Barcelona wanted him, and Kevin Keegan turned down the chance to let him go there purely because they just sold Andy Cole. And he came out and said to the fans, I can't sell Cole and Ginola. They'll kill me. The fans will kill me. So listen, top player. Listen, Gaza was one of the best I've ever seen. He didn't win the league or the Champions League. I love it when Angus is in the chat. He loves winding people up. Angus, it's because of fans like you why most of the league don't want Arsenal to win it. Right. Finn Rickwood, big up Finn. He said, I think that the Liga has got many wingers when the Premier League, then the Premier League. Vinny Jr., Yamal from Barca, and even Couto from Girona. Yeah, Savio from Girona as well. Yeah, there's some good wingers in that league. Absolutely. Hang on, they're going to have a little debate, them two now in the chat. Ginola didn't win a trophy as part of a team in England, but say won nothing as well off the mark. Well, Philip, this is wrong. He did win a trophy. He won the cup with Spurs. So, yes, he did win a trophy as part of a team. No room for Romero. Listen, I would love to see, me personally, I would love to see a back two of Todibo and Van der Ven. I think that would be really good. Just for me. 100 million for Jared Bramthwaite is absolutely bonkers. Unfortunately, now you get a good young player and people go, oh, they're worth 150 million. They're worth 100 million. It's mad. Absolutely mad. The world's gone bonkers. And the younger fans just go with it. Yeah, he's 150 million. What? Come on, get a grip. Hang on, I'd love to see what's this. So I love it when I see the individual battles going on. Philia said, but Daniel Singh, using your merits, why didn't Kane win the league considering his goal scoring exploits? So Daniel has come back and said, Philly, he's going to win 3 trophies this season. Which 3? Because aren't Bayern Munich out of both cups? Am I wrong in saying that, people? Didn't Bayern Munich get knocked out of both cups? So he can't win 3 this year, can he? Sorry, just quickly. No, I don't think Cannavaro did play in the Prem. What a centre-back he was. Wow, he was absolutely elite. Chaz Lad said, I have a feeling Levy not going to open his wallet and spend no money. I think he'll get a centre-half. I think he's got to. Really, really got to. I'm just going to pretend I said something really clever. Thank you. I don't know what I said. Callum Rose said, I agree, Savva. It allows lots of options. VDV could cover for a doggy. Maybe Todibo could. Absolutely. Absolutely. This is the thing. When you bring in players that can play multiple positions as well, I keep saying, like Man City, look at their defenders. John Stones can go and play right back, as can Kyle Walker. John Stones can go and play in midfield. Ake and Vardiel play centre-half or left-back. Akanji can play right-back or centre-mid. That's what you need. You need options all over the pitch. We've got to stop thinking about an 11. We've got to stop thinking about, but if he comes, he'll have to sit on the bench. We've got to stop thinking about that. I don't care if every week I see a different centre-back pairing if you've got 3 top centre-backs. I don't care. But we've got to do it. Philia said, but again, like Modric, Bale, Sheringham, Kane had to leave Spurs to achieve the goal of winning silverware. Ginola won silverware at Spurs. Yes, he did. Oh, my David. If anyone didn't know, I do love my Ginola. Angus has said, hell no, it was absolutely crap, Janice. It wasn't crap. Again, Angus, you go so far the other way. And then, right, Janice was crap, but arse of him, what a player he was. Angus, I've never known a more biased football fan in my life than you. Big up Bobby Andrews, hope you're well. Said, all right, Sav, thoughts on the outgoings. I'm reading that Højbjerg has a lot of suitors. Also, Lo Celso, 18 months left, and Barca are calling. We could end up so short come January. I think that's the conundrum. I think if everyone was fit and there was no AFCON, then both of those can go for me. I don't care for either of them, if I'm brutally honest. I think the problem is you've got the African Cup of Nations, so Sarah Basuma are straight away out. Bentancur's injured. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch that, mate. I agree. It's going to leave us short, but I guess it's short-term versus long-term. Short-term pain, long-term gain? I don't know. For example, if Lo Celso, I'm just making this up. If Barcelona turn around and say, we'll give you 15 million for Lo Celso now or 5 million when he's got a year left, I don't know, I'm just making it up. Would Daniel Levy want to turn down 10 million for the sake of covering January? I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I think, yeah, I agree with this. I do think he underachieved too much too young. But, I mean, when Angus said that he was crap, I think that's harsh. I don't think he was. He wasn't shit. I don't think he was. Buffon didn't play in the Premier League. Zola definitely did. Super League is back yet. We've talked about this a lot. Gary Mabbutt's class. Absolute class. I'd love Gary Mabbott in this team right now. Captain. I'd have him as my captain, my centre-back, my leader, everything. Gilardino. I don't know, did he play? Who did he play for? So many names have played over here. Joe Ryan has said, is Johnson okay to play Saturday after his head injury? I believe so. I believe that I've seen that he is okay to play. I don't know for sure. By the way, we'll go to past, people, so we'll go for another 15 minutes. Thank you for joining me this morning. Hopefully you like the morning shows. I mean, if you don't, we don't have to do them, but hopefully you like them. Just a nice hour and a half to talk about football every day gets us going. The worst question anyone can ever ask me, Bale or Ginola? Both. Bale was sensational, but Ginola's my favourite Spurs player of all time. I just enjoyed them both so much. When I watch them compared to what we've got now, it makes me feel a bit sad when I look at the crap wingers we've got now. I mean, Bale was different class. Ginola, for me, they were very different players. Ginola had more skill. Bale had more raw pace and power. I'm sitting on the fence. You can't do that to me, man. It's like asking me to pick between my two dogs. Can't do it. Never played in the Premier League, Maldini. Never played in the Premier League, but class. What now? This, when we talk about elite and generational and all those words, this guy, absolutely. Christopher Ray. I remember Christopher Ray. Wow, yes, I remember him. Todibo or Tapsoba. I take either of them. Todibo is going to be the cheaper option. Let's be brutally honest. Todibo's the cheaper option. And a bit younger, so I think he makes more sense. But I'll take either of them. I think he can only win two, right? Yeah, I think he can only win two. Custody said Chelsea away is now Friday, the 23rd of February, an 8 p.m. kickoff. When did this change? I'm seeing a lot of games. I think it's coming across the bottom of the screen now. I think there's a lot of games are being changed in the Premier League. I don't know why, but apparently the Spurs game is one of them. By the way, what did we make of the League Cup quarter-final? Liverpool absolutely destroyed Liverpool. They battered them 5-1, didn't they? I mean, West Ham were absolutely appalling, if we're going to be brutally honest. Couple of really good goals in the game. Now Liverpool are playing Fulham. Chelsea are playing Middlesbrough. What do we make of it? Is this all geared up for a Liverpool-Chelsea final? The big boys always get there in the end, don't they? Or can Fulham upset Liverpool? Could Middlesbrough upset Chelsea? Let me know. Liverpool versus Fulham and Middlesbrough versus Chelsea. Week commencing January the 8th. it makes me really sick that we didn't go for that. I really feel like we could have done well in that competition. I mean, you could, yeah. Listen, I think it gives you options, doesn't it, Jessica? It gives you options. I'm not one of these that's like, oh my God, we must have a set 11. So, yeah, I think it gives you options. Morning, Martin. How you doing, brother? Hope you are well. Good morning to you. Good morning. Actually, I nearly burst out into song. Simon has said Eden Hazard or Gareth Bale. Gareth Bale. But I mean, both world-class footballers. Gareth Bale, for me, just did more at the big moments, just consistently did more at the big moments. I mean, listen, if you said to me, you're going to have Eden Hazard or Gareth Bale on your wing, I don't care. I'll have either of them. But two top players, I just think Bale was magnificent and then went to Real Madrid and ripped up trees, didn't he? So it is what it is. Bobby has said, the day Oliver Skip leaves for a newly promoted team, I will throw a mental party. What a dreadful player. He's not good enough, is he? Let's be brutally honest. He falls into that category of, if he's come through the youth team, so people want him to do well. If Spurs had gone and bought him, Bobby, for 25, 30 million, you'd be really annoyed that you'd gone and bought this footballer. And I think the player, it clouds people's eyes, doesn't it? He's one of us. He's a youth player. It did with Winks for years. Jason has said, what are your thoughts on Piero Hincapié? I think Hincapié's good. Still got a lot to learn. Still a young centre-half. Looks good. Bit rash. But he's got time to grow. So, yeah, I think he's a good player. Why did Gentis retire so early? I'm not sure. I think probably a lot of injuries, wasn't it? Probably a lot of injuries. Bill has said the midfield of Gentis and Murphy back in 06 should have been built around. Do you know what? Danny Murphy was a good footballer. Good free kick taker. I liked him. He did all right. John has said BJ only had a cut. He's fine. Martin has said, my mum is West Ham, but even she loved Ginola. Cringy watching her gush over our Ginola. Listen, I was gushing over Ginola each week. Listen, just different to what we see now. We don't see players like that now. Did Materazzi play in the Premier League? Yeah, he did, didn't he? Didn't Materazzi come to the Premier League? Let me have a look. I'm not sure on this one. If Materazzi, I'm sure he did. Marco Materazzi. Did he play in the Premier League? Yeah, didn't he go to Everton? I'm just looking it up. Did he go to Everton? Yeah, he played 25 games for Everton. Did Marco Materazzi. Wow, yes. Marco Materazzi, there you go. Good memory, video complete. Philly said, I feel your pain, Savva. The choice between Bad and Ginola is like asking me who I'd like more, Klinsmann or Lineker. Yeah, man, it's tough. Top players. All I know is all these players we're mentioning are better than the players we've got now. Gary has said, I'm sure I remember a Nike advert with Maldini from the 90s. He was pure class. Yeah, he was. When we talk about these centre-backs that play now, and then you look at the likes of Cannavaro, Nesta, Maldini, Tony Adams, Sol Campbell, sorry, I said it, John Terry, Rio Ferdinand, Ledley King, these defenders have got nothing on those defenders at all. Quinny has said, have you heard that the Super League or something similar could be back on? Yeah, we've been talking about it, my man. It's going to be a long, bumpy road, isn't it? This is going to be in the news for weeks and weeks and months. And eventually something will happen. You know it will. Eventually something will happen. By the way, the link is in the chat. Who's going to be so kind to help Perchy and I get to 12K before Christmas Day? Come on. We can create a song about it and everything. The link I've just put in the chat and it is pinned. So please do. Thank you to everyone that has liked the stream as well. We're going to go for another 8 or 9 minutes or so. Angus has said, bring on them lot on Saturday. Do you know what? I really hope Liverpool batter you. I really do. I don't think they will, but I hope they do. Bill has said, hasn't Moyes been beaten by 5 twice recently? Yes, he has. Yeah, they lost 5 to Fulham, didn't they? And now 5 to Liverpool. Yes. Man Latatra says, Savva, even Proud went into sabbatical. Proud. Are you talking about Nuno Santos? Is that what you're talking about there? Is it Nuno? Are you talking about Nuno? Interesting. You might not be talking about Nuno, but I think you are. Revanite said we got something cooking for Arsenal after that appalling United game. It's time for our players to step up. listen, I just don't think. I don't think the game will be anything like the Man U game because Arsenal will actually come and play. And I think that will play into Liverpool's hands. I think it should be a good game. More than anything, I think it'll be a good game. We'll see. Whatever Angus says, just think the opposite and it happens. I think Ollie Skip is a Celtic Rangers level player, yes, in that league. Yes. Or as Daniel said, Oliver Skip at best is Birmingham City level. Notice how Angus, who is Celtic as well as Arsenal, went for Rangers, and Daniel, who is Aston Villa, went for Birmingham. I see what they're both doing there. Yeah, he did for Everton. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we were talking about Materazzi there. Philip has said Middlesbrough could upset Chelsea, but I doubt they will. I reckon it will be a Liverpool-Chelsea final with Liverpool coming out on top in the third final out of 3 they've played each other in. Yes, they played each other, not last year, the year before, in 2 finals, didn't they? Yes. Interesting times. Look, the bigger clubs tend to win the trophies. That's just how it's always been, right? Ginola, Anderton, Sheringham, 3 of my favourites in the 90s. Me too. 3 of my favourites ever, yes. Asking me to choose between Sheringham or Berbatov. It's like asking me to choose which kid gets fed. Absolutely, Bill. I loved Sheringham. Such an underrated footballer. Such an underrated footballer. Klinsmann and Shearer said that he was the best strike. Both said he was the best strike partner they ever played with. That's not a bad barometer, is it? Bobby said, I love Ginola, but behave. He doesn't come close to Bale. The season where he ripped it up was the best solo performance I've seen at Spurs. He was insane. When you say he doesn't come close to what? They were very different footballers. This is the problem. When people say this, you've got to remember Bale played in a much better team than Ginola did as well. And Ginola won double player of the year. Ginola won double player of the year playing in an awful Spurs team. Gareth Bale never played in a team that bad for Spurs. Look, how things could have been different in the career if Ginola had got his move to Barcelona. Listen, just for me personally, Ginola's my favourite I've ever seen in a Spurs shirt. He got me off my seat every single time. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Get that subscribe button and that like button going, people. Come on. Where's the generosity gone these days? Give us your most outrageous football take, Savva. I'm not going to because it will be in my 10 out of 10 that is done on Christmas Day. So I'm not going to do it now. It will be out on Christmas Day. Call it Spursy, but I would like to see Pochettino win a trophy. It would be so Spursy if he goes to Chelsea, talk of him getting sacked and then wins a trophy. It just would be, wouldn't it? It really, really would be. Here we go. Angus is doing it again. If we beat Liverpool, it's possible the title is coming home. I love it. I just can't stand Arsenal for this very reason. Steve Sedgley level. Oh, good old Steve Sedgley. Sheringham bagged Danielle Lloyd. He gets my vote for that alone. Sheringham. Daniel Senior. Yeah, Ginola in those years was unplayable. He was just superb. Do homegrown quota rules apply during the January window? I'm sure they must do, right? I don't know for sure, but I'm sure they must do. I don't know. Lee B, as a Savage, do you think the Super League will come up again in the future? Yeah, absolutely. All day. I think it was going to come up again anyway. And this ruling is just going to help it, isn't it? But we'll see. We'll see. Berber got me off my seat. Berbatov was sheer class. Just sheer class. Everything about the man. Video complete Sofiane said Liverpool should give Kimmich a new challenge. Where is it? Outside of Ginola, who was your favourite player in the Premier League? In the Premier League, I loved watching David Silva play. Henry, hate to say it, but was an absolute joy to watch. So was Bergkamp. Eric Cantona. Eric Cantona was just a joy to watch. Ryan Giggs was superb. Patrick Vieira. Sorry for the Chelsea. Marcel Desailly, I really think he's a top player. Zola. I like Georgie Kinkladze. I thought he was a really good player as well. Look, there's loads of greats that have played in the Premier League. Alan Shearer, you've got to put him up there. Steven Gerrard was a top midfielder. Kevin De Bruyne, I've really enjoyed watching Kevin De Bruyne down the years. Loads of, I'm missing loads, aren't I? I'm missing so many. Ashley Cole, from a left-back perspective, was just superb. He was ridiculous, was Ashley Cole. Tony Adams, top centre-half. Ledley King Really enjoyed him. Luka Modric, Michael Carrick. I mean, look, I could go on and on and on and on. Bobby said Ledley King minus injuries would have been one of the greats when it comes to centre-backs. This guy didn't even train and was single-handedly the best player on the park in a shit Spurs side too. Absolutely. Ledley was phenomenal. Ledley is head and shoulders above the two centre-halves we've got now. I'm not saying they're not good, but he's head and shoulders above them. Yeah, we're going to see. This is all going to play out. I am going to end the show in just 2 minutes, people. I do remember when John Gregory called Ginola fat. He then scored and gave it the old muscles. It was like, wow, I'd love to be as fat as Ginola. Philip has said, don't worry, Savva, Arsenal won't win. They haven't won at Anfield since 2012. Absolutely. But Bet was the most intelligent. Berbatov, I think, was the most intelligent lazy bastard ever. I watched him play a few times. The way he created space. I don't think he was lazy. I think people who call players lazy, I think you've got to know what sort of player they are. It's like when people say Messi's lazy because he doesn't run. You watch Messi, he's scanning the pitch all the time. Where can I be to pick up the ball? Berbatov's the same. Berbatov didn't want to run it. He wanted to be in those spaces. I don't think he was lazy. I think he was cultured. I think there's a huge difference for me, Bobby. Revenite said, apparently Liverpool aren't that good to Angus, which this is why people don't like Arsenal fans. Yeah, Angus is a nightmare. Just constantly, everyone else is rubbish. Arsenal are great. And then when Arsenal don't win, he'll get all like, he'll find another excuse about, oh, so-and-so got injured or this red card or that or that or that. Guys and girls, thank you so much. Sean Smith said, big up, Savva. Glad to see you back, brother, and looking healthier mentally, looking like you did when I first started watching your channel. Keep going, man. Yeah, we're getting back to the old days. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. By the way, I always do. It's always say I'm going to end, and then I see comments that I like. So I keep putting in comments that you like. Beardsley, top footballer. Peter Beardsley, obviously Gareth Bale. Hoddle, obviously before the Premier League era, but what a footballer Glenn Hoddle was. Best player I've ever seen in a Spurs shirt from ability-wise. Yeah, absolutely. Ed Emma said outside of Spurs players, Brian Robson. Yes, I forgot Brian Robson. Do you know what, Ed? The best thing you said there is all-round midfielder. You know what? Now, one thing that drives me mad, everyone talking about 6s and 8s and holding midfield and attack. Midfielders back in the day did it all. They were complete midfielders, and Brian Robson was one of the best at it. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. I am going to leave it there. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm going to put the link in the chat. Please, if you could subscribe on your way out, if you haven't subscribed already, please smash the like button. We're only at 141. Let's get that to at least 150. Really appreciate you joining me. We're going to be back tonight. 8 p.m. for Spurs Unleashed. Please come and join us for Spurs Unleashed. Myself, Perchy, Stealth from Tottenham away, Haz from Southview Coys, and Will Stewart from Tottenham away. Join us. We've got a lot to discuss, a lot to debate. Much love. See you then, and look out for my video this afternoon. Take care, everyone. See you later. And as always, come on, you Spurs.